I don't know if I'm liking the look of that house over there. If only I had a sign. Today's Spooky Spot, we're having a look at the custom horror neon sign from Pumpkingdomstudio. Kingdom Studios have been making custom LED neon signs over on their Etsy store. And if you guys have been looking to get some sick signage, whether it be horror for your horror collection or would like just to get custom sign for something else, you can click the link down below in the video description. In this review, we will be looking with more a horror sign, and this is 25 inches. The 25-inch sign actually right now is $269.67. That's Canadian prices over on their site. And they go from 25 inches all the way up to, if you can believe it, 60-inch signs. And even if you then need a sign even bigger, they also make signs even larger than 60 inches. I went and decided to go with the gorier green, but they also make the signs in yellow, white, orange, warm white, ice blue, green, pink, yellow, and a normal blue. But I thought green would fit it a lot better, especially if I'm planning to have this display with my horror movie library, which was really the idea in mind that I had when I wanted to get the sign. Along with your purchase, though, you get the following things. First of all, you get yourself an AC plug. The plug actually doesn't attach necessarily directly to the sign. It actually, what it does instead is it plugs to a secondary plug where the plug that cord is actually attached onto the back of the sign. So you actually have to attach it in two places. You get the secondary cord. Now the cord itself does have settings to the light. At the beginning of this, we actually had this set in low, but there's also medium and there's also high. Easily be pressed by just pressing the button down below. So we'll have to plug the two together. You also as well can have the option of either mounting this. Now I've got this currently just resting against a standee, but also as well, if you guys wanted to mount this on the wall, they include simple to read instructions. All that's really required is you have to take these little ringlets here. Drilled in the top and on the bottom, there's actually holes. You take these little ringlets here that are almost like binder rings, and you just loop them through the provided holes, and then you take yourself some signage chain, and you basically will just connect them along the top, just basically like a triangular sign. You also as well to get with your purchase some additional screws, and we also got some wall studs as well. I just don't happen to have the studs here right now. One thing you will want to do in preparation of mounting your sign, whether you want to have it actually just upright like we have it right now, or if you did want to mount this on the wall, is on the back there is actually a translucent, kind of more of a smokier white film that you have to peel off the back of the sign. You'll know it's still there because the sign should be see-through, and you're really only then looking at the letters themselves. So what I will do, though, is I'm going to take my plug. And actually, one thing I also did want to mention about the plug is that they make the plugs available for anywhere across the world. The plug that I'm using here is for North America, but they also make plugs as well for European countries as well. So like anywhere in the world, they have a plug accommodating this sign for you. So what I will do, though, is I'm going to plug this in. I'll show you guys the 3 different settings, and the settings actually do get quite bright on the lettering. And also as well, I'm going to cut the lights so you can see how well it looks in the dark. Now that I actually have it plugged in, we're going to go through the 3 different settings. And one actually correction I did want to make to what I said earlier. The sign was at the time, right now, shooting this review, $269.67. It's only because it's a 35% off sale at the time of shooting this review. The sign normally, I think, is sitting around $415. Again, if you guys are looking to get this LED sign for yourself. So cycling through the 3 different settings, first we actually had this in low. So I'm just going to press the low right now. Again, you can see how bright that illuminates. A really well-made sign all in all. Now again, if you didn't want necessarily horror and you wanted to have a different sign made, it's easy for them. They would just produce the sign in whatever specs that you want. And also as well, you can vary the size and you can also vary the color as well. But I think the green works really well. I'm hoping that the camera's able to show how good that actually looks. Now that's only just in the low setting. If I was to say press this again, you can even see how much brighter it gets still. Try to revert your retinas from getting burned away. That's a pretty considerably bright light. And not only obviously does it illuminate the font, but it also illuminates really brightly the green all around it as well. And that's only, again, on the 2nd setting. Again, everyone's get their glasses on. If we're going to switch this then to the 3rd setting, woo, that's quite a bright light. Now, in close quarters like this, you may not want to have a neon sign so close to your eyes. My whole plan, of course, in mind is to have this downstairs in my basement along with all my other movies. And again, you really don't even need necessarily to have other light sources in your room. The light source that you're getting here from the sign is more than enough, illuminating not only, again, the font, but also, again, everything that's around it as well. So that being said, let's now cut the lights, and we'll, again, jump through the 3 different settings. So again, you can see how good it actually looks in the dark. Well, yes, right now you're not looking at anything. You will be looking at something in a few seconds because I'm going to go ahead and press the button again. One thing I do really like about it is that the settings start on low, so you're not going to be blinding yourself right away with an overly bright bulb. But we're going to start things first, obviously, in the lowest setting. There's the lowest setting right there. Now, obviously, also, too, with taking that film off, can you even see my hands? Even taking the film off, too, the only thing you're really then seeing is just the letters alone. And that's only, again, the lowest setting. Going back and looking at the footage that I just shot, I realized on the middle setting that my camera's starting to pulsate. How fitting it would be also to be looking at a horror sign and having the camera sort of, pulsating in the process. Now that's the second setting. We'll switch it over to the highest setting. Very, very bright. Again, I probably would not normally have myself so close to a light like this, but it's also as well just to show you how bright that actually does project. Now this is 25-inch sign. Again, they can go all the way up to 60 if you prefer. 60 obviously for me is just way too big. I think 25 honestly is just the right size, the ideal size if you want to have a sign. So like if you want to have a sign, for example, my plan is again to have this so, right next to my movie collection, and I'm just going to hang this up on the wall. At least they did provide the hooks. So again, if you wanted to mount this yourself, it's very easy to do. Or you can also go the route of what I did in this review and just have this mounting against like a standee, like what we have right now. I am quite happy with how the horror sign turned out and looking forward to mounting this on my wall. Now, again, this is the 25-inch sign, a correction from what I did say earlier of being $269.67. I think it just at the time of shooting this review, they had a sale currently going on. I think the sale is only going to be lasting for another 21 hours, and then the price is going to go back to around $415. I think $415 for the fact that you're getting yourself a custom neon LED sign, especially you can get one catered to your specific needs. If you want, say, horror like I got, but in a different color, they can certainly do that. If you'd like to get yourself a horror sign for your collection, just a lot larger, they can also do that as well. Definitely check out some of the stuff that they have going on over on their Etsy store. Don't worry. I'll put the link down below in the video description. Today's spooky spot, though, we were having a look at the custom horror neon sign from Etsy store Pumpkingdomstudio. I also really like the name of them as well. What do you guys think of this? Let me know down below in the comments section. Have you been in need of getting yourself a neon sign for your space? And if you are, what would you have on your sign? Let me know down below in the comments section. Also, as well, if you guys wanted to stick around for more horror-related videos, during the month of Spottober, of course, we're going to still be covering off a lot of territory, making sure you're not missing out on any of that by hitting that subscribe button down below. And you're also as well turning on the bell notification. Of course, as always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.